pleasant morning to you from wherever you're listening to us right now on I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN, the perfect choice station for the high flyers. Good morning from the side of time. Good morning to the Avalanche on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Good morning to you, Nigerians. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Ibadan. Are you ready for this? This is the Avalanche coming to you live on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. My name is Samson Omotosho, and today we're going to confront a disturbing yet urgent epidemic ravaging the very soul of our society. We're talking about the menace of drug abuse among teenagers and young adults as well. We take a look at a moment to absorb some few. We're going to give you some few statistics to back up our claims for today. But before I do that, I want to go for this quick, music break. And when I'm back, the Avalanche continues. Please stay with us.
Always justify the faith of its people.
It's us.
We are Nigeria.
We are that turning point generation. We are Nigeria. We are the future.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this. Yes, we are so amazing. That's the least we shall be. At the heart of the nation, changing history. How can they say that we are finished? We have just begun. When we have nowhere else to run to, we have nowhere else to go. So get out of the way of the land of our dreams. We are the nation, we are part of this. Oh, oh. We are the nation, we are part of this. The land of my dreams. I am the nation, I am part of this. Whoa, carry the song, carry the sound. The future is here. The future is here. The future is here. The future is here. Raise your hands in the air if you believe the future has come now.
The future is not a time zone that is yet to come. The future is everything that we can do but have not yet.
The Avalanche.
The future is everything that we can do but
tuned into. Alright, so welcome back from the music break, just to whet your appetite a little bit and for us to have a great time together today. It promises to be a great time with us on the show. Don't forget, we've been talking about so many things. We've seen so many young persons taking to drugs, so many depressed, so many things happening to young people. And if we don't talk about it, it may not be complete. And we have to just talk about it. We have to provide a solution to it and ensure that every bit of what we do, all right, sinks into the memory of a lot of persons. And of course, that could actually provide some solution to the challenges before us. Let's take a moment to absorb this. According to recent reports from the Punch and the Daily Trust, over 14.3 million Nigerians between ages 15 and 34 have experimented with, illicit substances, with many falling into value this morning. Just last month, Vanguard newspaper reported the tragic story of a 17-year-old boy named Chuka, a promising secondary school student from Ajegula in Lagos. He was rushed to the hospital after overdosing on a cocktail of tramadol and codeine-laced syrup during a birthday party. And the mix was meant to impress, pairs and all of that. Sadly, Chuka didn't make it. His dreams gone in an instant, buried beneath societal neglect and, of course, peer pressure. I mean, he was on his way to impressing some persons' stories. These are real life stories. The young boy is no more in Lagos because he wanted to impress his peers. He wanted to he wanted to be among, he wanted to feel among that, yes, I can take it as well. But then he's right now at the underworld. He's no more with us. My heart breaks each time I come across stories like this, not as a broadcaster, but as a human being. And it begs the question, how did we get here? How did we get to this place where we are? So what's the way forward? How do we do this? So we're going to unpack some of these, real stories and, of course, practical solutions to them. And to do justice to that story this morning, I must apologize on behalf of, my guest, Commandant, NDLEA Commandant, Oyo State Command, and the person of Commander Olayinka Jofadile was supposed to be on the program today, but for one reason or the other, emergencies came up and he couldn't. He actually pleaded that he was sorry he wasn't going to be on the show today, but then he sent a representative in the person of Mrs. Mutiat Okuobi. She has been here over time, and I'm sure that many of you will be familiar with her voice. Just to say,
Olayinka Jofadile is unavoidably absent due to some, as explained by the anchor. He sent his apology, and I'm very sure when next you call him, he will be here in person.
Yeah.
I'm representing the state commander. I'm assistant commander of Narcotic Mutiat Okuobi.
All right, so welcome to the program once again. Let's look at it from NDLE's standpoint. How widespread is drug abuse among Nigerian teens and youth today? And
have about drug abuse is the trafficker. The trafficker are not relenting in making sure that they make money at the detriment of the users. They don't care what happens to the user, and they are capitalizing on the fact that except you don't start drug, most of the time you find it hard to get away from it. So because of that, they are intensifying efforts to make sure that these drugs are brought to the doorstep of the users. So the problem that we have is the trafficker. Is the trafficker that lives among us, that lives around us, that we have information about, that if we can let go of this thing, it can really help a lot when it comes to how widespread this drug abuse is. Because sometimes the people that use drugs, they want to stay away from it. They know that it's a problem, they know it's affecting them health-wise. They are not, most of the time, not progressing, not doing very well. But they can't help but, answer to that call of their body, the urge of drug abuse. And because of the availability of it, so I'll stop tomorrow, procrastination. You understand? So the widespread is so you cannot even tell where it's real. It can stop. That is why, going by the theme for this year, prevention, is very important. It's better not to start. From the age before, statistics have shown that from the age of like 15 to 65, people that do drugs, that's the age bracket. But it's a pity now we have
less than that.
Less than 15 doing drugs. When we have a mini rehabilitation center at Iseyin, at that place where most of the time, when they come in like that, we take their details out when they started drug. Most of the time, they tell us they start at the age of 10. 10 years ago, probably they started with, just rolling paper, seeing their role models doing it. Who are the role models? Parents, most of the time, uncles, maybe cousins, bigger cousins, things like that. So age of 10. And when you don't stop drug on time, it does not have age limit anymore. I mean, as in, at this particular age that you stop. If you don't nip it like the bud, you are in for it. If you don't get support, serious social support, most of the time, 90% of, even scientifically it has proven that 90% of people that do drugs don't come out of it. You can now imagine 10%, what's that? 20% are for those that got that. Once you start, it's a big work to come out of it, but treatment works.
Okay, so let's take a look at some other, recent reports that we've gotten from the pages of newspaper shows that drug culture and is now prevalent in secondary schools. I was a teacher for many years. I saw that happened even whilst I was teaching. It was really prevalent, and even among girls now. It used to be just the boys, but right now the girls are joining that particular, the train of drug abuse. And what specific strategies is the NDLEA implementing to curb these, early exposure, especially in schools and communities?
For this International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking 2025 says that the evidence is clear. Invest in prevention.
I think that was like the
year,
copy and paste of last year.
Yes,
because I know
because
that was what we
that
worked on.
prevention is not really, it has not been really addressed.
Okay.
That is why at times, like the year that they use listen first for the theme for the that year, they use it for about 3 years. Listen to parents, listen to the clients, the children involved, listen to the society too. Everybody should lend their voice. So this year, last year on too, that's invest in prevention. The evidence, they have not really exhausted that prevention part, because people only see people who use drug only, and the trafficker.
The unemployment, could it be? Are these the only bottlenecks?
What are the causes of drug
causes
abuse?
And all of that?
What are the causes of drug abuse? The number one cause, I've mentioned it at the beginning of this session, that the traffickers, availability of this drug, because of the get rich quick syndrome in it, that they know that they will make the money if they are not caught, if they quickly do their drug abuse. They do this to even undermine the government of the day in some countries. They do it to make sure that the economy turn down, just because they want to make money, because those people that are making money out of it, they will be the one that have that strong that backbone for those that they will use to destroy government. So that money, the money they are making out of, is a problem. That is why we all have to fight those traffickers. We can prevent it. It's not just by taking it. We can prevent them from, we can frustrate people out of business. We can give tangible information about traffickers that we get them, that the agency or the appropriate authority, we get them and, wicks them out of the society.
In Edo State alone, in Edo State, the Edo State Command of your agency, NDLEA seizes, just on Monday.
On Monday. Just this Monday. Even to this last Sunday, a lady was arrested, faking surgery abroad, with over I've forgotten the figure now. The lady was arrested. That she was she faked that she's going for surgery, fibroid surgery abroad, one of those countries, and she was arrested with some huge, kilograms of cocaine on our way out of the country. It's to let you know that people are not relenting, even using health as a health problem as a cover up to make sure that they get out of the country at all costs. When I get that information, I'll bring it back. Just they did exhibit burning, the one of its kind this year. The one that has never happened before in the history of NDLEA in trafficking, in drug abuse. It will help us a lot. then also prevent the younger ones from even going into it. Those are the days that you see that you don't introduce to children what they don't know. No. If you don't talk to them, someone else will. And what the person is going to talk to them about may be very, 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 grievous and damaging. So it's better we let them know some of these things. We prevent them from, going into it. We prevent them from emulating bad people, bad role model. We prevent them from damaging their future today. Because those problems is for tomorrow, but it will start now. By them going into drug now, that means that's damaged.
Okay, let's look at it from this point of view. I want to look at the role that the pharmaceutical vendors are playing in all of this. What roles do unregulated pharmaceutical vendors and online influencers play in fueling, this crisis? And how is the NDLEA collaborating with other regulatory agencies, bodies like NAFDAC, the Nigeria Communication Commission, to address this?
Yes, we have a joint task force where it's comprised of Ministry of Health, the NAFDAC, the NDLEA, of course, the lead agency in that, and some other, and the Pharmaceutical Society now, the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria. Yes, of Nigeria, so that we raid premises to let them, first of all, sensitize them, let them know, they know the drugs that they are not supposed to have, and their poison book, keeping records, making sure that everything, even the ones that they are in order. So if they now go against that, of course the enforcement team in that joint task force will come out. We raid them unexpectedly. That's why the fact that we work together still, so that we make sure that the premises where all these drugs are being dispensed they are doing the right thing with it. And those that err, of course, we take them and they face the wrath of the law. So we work together with them to make sure that if not, we will not be having in our seizure of tramadol that are not supposed to be dispensed. We have tramadol of over 200 grams. The tramadol that's supposed to be dispensed 50 to 100 under the prescription. We now have some, and those ones we not even, the ones that are more than that, we first of all we come into the country without NAFDAC registration. So people are just endangering their life, even taking all this thing, because most of the time it is not registered, it is not it is not certified, and we are taking it. So those ones, of course, we seize and remove them from circulation. 1,013,000 pills of tramadol and other opioids that was just arrested on Sunday from our report. It's not from Oyo State, but
in terms of how young persons wasting themselves away, they take drugs, and then you begin to see different posture, different behavior, different reaction coming from them. And you begin to ask. I saw a video just this morning of a military officer. I wouldn't know what really went wrong with him. Perhaps maybe he had taken it, rolling himself in the mud. But what more effort? How much more effort?
Thank you very much. Number one, a part which we used to instrument in end demand reduction, the supply suppression, is the arrest and seizure instrument, where we make sure that despite all we do, we still the people that are perpetrating this evil in our society. We should not forget one thing, that is a global problem. It's a problem that is not just Nigerian and it's not peculiar to Africa, it's not European thing, it's all over the world that this problem is. So all hands have to be on deck to make sure that we tackle it. Also on the part of Nigeria, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency is using that supply suppression, arrest and seizure to make sure that we remove from circulation this drug, so that people will not have access to it, and we of course we seize from circulation, then we arrest those that are trafficking in it. Prosecution too is there. This prosecution is to make sure that some people serve as deterrent. it serves as deterrent to others, so that it can prevent, others from going into it. Because sometimes if some people will consider only the money that they want to make, they wouldn't have even, they will forget that it has some consequence. But when they see, at times they desist from the act. So prosecution is there. In the last 5 months, from Oyo State Commander, we have had 31 prosecution of persons that are doing drugs, ranging from 6 months to 15 years, that are serving their jail terms at the correction service. So, and also this year we have had over 3 related offenses. Yes. Usage. Also, we have our sensitization. That's the drug demand reduction. The second instrument, sensitization of people generally, parents, at churches, mosque, workplaces, public place, private organizations. All we just need is just to inform us that, okay, people are gathered, there's a congregation, and we go there for sensitization. And also this kind of medium, we thank I-FLIER for this kind of opportunity. At least we reach out to more people in millions now, and let them know that this thing, we just have to work against it. If not, our future. If you do drugs, you cannot win. It's not a race that okay, I just do not to start, because you don't know when it can end. So that is there. Also, we make research about new different kind of drugs that are coming up, so that we know, because there are times that some person may not want to even use drug that you will identify easily. It's when, and one thing about drug, you do it in your closet, it will take over you. The person is trying to cover up. So that is why we research and find out some of these new other drugs that are coming up, so that we can let people know from our kitchen, from our home, what other things that people can do to get high, and then let them know, so that they can be on the lookout for it. So when you see something close, even if it is not drug, at least you make noise, continue usage of such things. You understand? So we make research as well, and we also work with NGOs to make people that are into non-governmental organizations that are helping out in making sure that they spread this crusade of drug abuse, and prevent NDLA to make sure that this drug problem is tackled in our society.
All right, so thank you so much. Let me open the phone lines for those who are ready to actually join the conversation as well. 0705 510 33, 0705 510 3. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you.
For me, I calling from Apata.
You're welcome.
I greet you, guest.
You're welcome.
10 years back, it was only male child that mostly engage in drugs and all. But now, our females are now taking over from our males gender. You can imagine the rate of females taking shisha, marijuana, and all that. It is too alarming these days. One of my that person is a son to my sister. He lives at what's it called, Ekiti State. And the mother called me and he said, "Prince, please, my son needs help." By the grace of God, I was able to manipulate the boy and collected that the way he used to smoke and all that from him. And the guy is doing fine now in Lagos State. We must prevent our children. We must prevent them from taking alcohol, taking drugs. Before, if they should start, it's very, very difficult. It takes this place. And the rehabilitation of that is not welcome in our society, because it is becoming norm, even in our entertainment world. That's the information. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Bumi Adefisi, for joining the conversation. You can as well call in right now. Have you encountered a case of youth drug abuse? You're listening to me, and you want to share with us what do you think can be done differently in your community Just in case you have so many persons who do that, what do you think can be done? You can drop it, call in right now, or drop your comment on Facebook at I-FLIER 103.3 FM Live. Go there and drop your comment there. We're streaming live as well. I'm streaming on my personal handle, Samson Omotosho. Just go there and you're going to see me. You can drop your comment there, and I'm going to... The cause of this drug is from family, community, peer group, and government is not helping. Of an issue. Well, he also said, what can you say of a father and mother sending their kids to buy drugs, smoking in the presence of their kids? I mean, these are issues that I know that has been with us for a very long time. We see families whom the father and the mother do smoke, and then they tell their children, hey, don't do this, it's killing, it's not good. But you tell the child to go buy for you. Isn't this, child abuse? Because you're sending the child to go get you what is not good for you, what's harmful to the body, and at the same time, you're sending that kid to go buy it. What would be your reaction to this?
Thank you very much. That's why we engage, if they have, when we engage the secondary schools, what we tell them is to speak up. If they have challenges, especially at home or uncle or brother, that you know that, because we first of all conscientize them that all these things are bad and you can actually say no to it. So if you now have somebody like that you cannot really say no to, you cannot refuse. Go to your counselor. It's not that, maybe probably you have done it, all right. So go to the counselor in your school. You confide in them. They should do their work as counselor. They should have the
do we really have counselors?
Yes,
in
government
schools?
In government
do
school,
we?
all government schools have a counselor. The government have ensured that they have a counselor, and we task them to do their job.
I've been to some schools personally to do some sensitization, but I haven't seen counselors.
Well, let me say most of them have it. The school, we actually post a counselor. The government schools that we have visited, they always have a counselor, and what we charge them to is to making sure that they are doing their job, so that these kids, especially the ones that they have bad role models, or their parents are into drug one way or the other, and they are being sent, and they knew that what they are doing is wrong, and they cannot confront their parents or the uncle or the big brother. They should tell the counselor, so that those ones can work on them on their behalf. Because sometimes you find out that some kids, they cannot really talk, they cannot say no, they cannot really open up to their parents and tell them. That's why you see them doing it, taking after those parents at the end of the day.
There's a question that came up here. The person is still asking, I know a secondary school teacher that smoke at break time at a corner of the classroom. What would you say to that? These
are reasons why suggestion box at schools have to be working, functioning. Because most of it is the kids, the pupils or the student that will find out most of the time. If they don't speak up, you cannot apprehend anybody that is doing anything like this. And that teacher too, maybe is challenged. We have decriminalized the usage of drugs. We don't see them as criminal. It may be it's not identified. There's no way you can address such issue. So if anyone knows anyone that needs help, either teacher, student, let the appropriate authority have idea of what is going on, and that's where we can step in. We are not spirit. That's why information is very important. If there is information about a situation, that is when you can act on it. Either trafficker, either user, or whatever it is, as long as there is a problem, give the information to the appropriate authority. It will be addressed, and before it escalates, it can be, stopped.
All right, so let's look at this one before we go for our time. I want us to be as succinct as possible. Many believe that drug abuse among youth is more of a mental health and socio-economic issue. Let me take this call and then I'll be right back. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, many believe that, like I said, that this drug abuse among youth is more of a mental health and socio-economic issue than just a criminal matter. Is the NDLEA shifting more towards rehabilitation and public health-driven approaches rather than focusing solely on arrests and convictions?
In the course of our conversation, we are still in the morning. Yes, I've mentioned it that we have a rehabilitation center at Iseyin. It was based in Ibadan before, but we have a bigger space now where it can take more than 20.
But you have to move people from Ibadan to Iseyin.
Iseyin to the place so that they'll be more comfortable. And
Don't you think we should have
someone that can donate space, and we are.
what's the government doing about it? The government owns the land.
Yeah. Well, of course, they are
should be
hearing.
able
That's
to
why we
get
have
us
this program, and
one-
I'm very sure that one or two of the persons, the government, but the state government is actually and make it function. So, but we can do better. We can do more. We are Oliver Twist. He asked for more.
Definitely, because Ibadan is very
yes.
big.
If you have one in
so
Ibadan,
we need
it's
one.
still very, very okay. But the one we have at Iseyin is big, and it can accommodate even more than the 20. But the space for now is 20 because it's big enough for there is room for expansion there. So we are changing from the past. Probably at the inception, you see all people that use drug, maybe sometimes criminal, all those. But now we are trained, we are professional, and we see them people, which is the world best practice, that people that use drug are not criminal. We decriminalize the usage of drug issue that need to be addressed, and with proper treatment and rehabilitation, they could be reintegrated back to the society and function very well.
All right.
And be very productive.
Okay, so lastly, before I let you go, because our time has been fast spent, as a mother and a frontline officer, what advice would you give to parents listening right and intervening before it's too late?
The work starts from home, because it's when the society, the family is a smaller unit of the society, and if all this family are functioning well, I'm very sure the society will be a bit balanced. So parents as role model, we should go back to our role and do it well. Because we are the ones that the kids are emulating. We are the one that is impacting them. We are their first teacher, first doctor, first everything. And if you don't do them well, by the time the rate at which they are even going into it may not be ratio 1 to 1, but it's more than